before wisdom. Yes.
Well, we're ready.
Stand by, please.
Quickly, Juice, fall. Hello. Good evening.
I'll do a long intro so you can continue.
Good evening. Love the British host, you know.
Okay, Bobbie, whenever you're ready.
All right.
Rolling.
Well, Martin has just been taking a little chow break here. We should just tell them you've been doing this all day, and it's now 7 o'clock or something in the evening. What is it?
8 o'clock.
Your time. But in any event, we're here to talk about the believers. Now, Martin, I have to be honest with you. When I heard the nature of this film, I thought I'm going to be sitting there like this half the time. But I had eyes wide open, leaning forward.
Really?
Yes, I got totally caught up in the picture. I think it's just a wonderful trip.
Oh, I'm delighted to hear
Yes,
that.
and I so enjoyed your performance because we get to see this beautiful father-son relationship, and we get to see your frustration trying to sort out all this weirdness that's going on.
Yeah.
But you and I share something in common in that we're both Catholic. And there are these certain links to Catholicism with this religion, Santeria. Am I saying it right?
Santeria.
Santeria.
Took me 5 months to learn how to say it.
But anyway, there are certain links between Catholicism and Santeria. And I was wondering, as a Catholic, did you have any problems with any of the things that they were showing?
Oh, no. On the contrary. I was surprised to learn during the filming that there are quite a large number of very devout Catholics, particularly in the Hispanic community, that also practice Santeria without any conflict at all. I personally didn't have any problem with the story or the idea that I had to engage in a what might be considered a non-Catholic ritual. No. As an actor, I'm given a license to explore areas that I might not otherwise go into, and I have to be honest about that, you know, and go into those areas with as much openness and receptiveness as possible.
I think there could be some confusion for people who see the film, that they might get confused about what the link is between the Catholicism and this religion.
Yeah.
But also in this film, I like so much the relationship you have with the boy who plays your son. And the one scene where he runs and and you have to go out there and you get angry and you kind of spank him, and then you make up, and it's so tender. It brought tears to my eyes the way the way you made up with him.
Well, I've had a lot of experience in having to make up with my children, so I didn't have any difficulty playing that. I did feel terrible about having to spank him, but luckily he was padded. The audience should know that I didn't really hurt him. But it still bothered me to have to hit a little boy.
As a father, especially when your children were younger, were you real stern and strict?
I'm afraid so, yeah.
Were you?
I was, unfortunately, yeah. And I had
Too stern?
Yeah, I had a temper. And Lord, I would take things out on them that they had no right to be subject to. You know, I would bring my work home or my frustrations home, and the slightest thing would happen in the house, and boom, they were the target of my frustration so often, regrettably, you know.
Have they forgiven you?
Oh God, I hope so. I still find it hard to forgive myself.
Are you different now with them?
Oh yes, very much different. Of course, they're all adults now. I think of them as very, very dear friends, one that I adore, that I would choose as friends. I think of them as very close sons and daughter, and I think of them as wonderful fellow actors. You know, we do have a very close relationship. How could you not have a close relationship with these guys? You know?
Well, I know two of your sons. I know Charlie and I know Emilio. And the two of them have had a contrasting year in a way. Here was Charlie in Platoon and all the fame and everything he got from that and the picture and all. And then Emilio did Wisdom, and I thought he did a really good job. In other words, I thought he showed a tremendous amount of promise
Absolutely.
with that.
That was
directing
what
and
was important.
being in that
Yeah.
film. But it was a disappointment at the box office.
It was a big disappointment, and he took a lot of the blame, of course, you know, and he took it personally, and he went through a very, very bad time.
What
There
did you
wasn't-
say to him?
Well, there wasn't much we could say. He had to go through it on his own. I advised him not to read any of the press notices and not to listen to any of the reviews that he might hear on TV or hear from anyone, just to shut all that out of his mind. He had to understand why he did the picture, and did he achieve what he set out to, and he had to be reminded that he was 23 years old, you know. I was disappointed in a lot of the press that I had heard about, because they were not like you, encouraging to him, saying, well, maybe this isn't an extraordinary project, but this is an extraordinary talent. And he's so young. There's great things in store with this young man.
And he writes and
Yeah.
directs and acts.
Yeah. It would have been ideal if they had cushioned their severe criticism with encouragement, but that doesn't seem to be the way the game is played with the critics. And
Is he working on a new project?
yeah, he's writing a new script. He just finished a film with Richard Dreyfuss called Stakeout that is released this summer.
And Charlie's
Yeah.
working on one, isn't he?
Yeah,
Or
he's
hasn't
down in
he?
New York doing Oliver Stone's next movie, Wall Street, which I'll be joining him in a few weeks to play his father.
Aha!
Yeah, that's the first time we played father-son. But we've worked together on a few other little things, but first time, as I say, we've had anything substantial on camera.
Well, Martin, be kind.
Oh, I shall, and all my best to obey you, I promise.
Okay.
I adore these guys, and I'm nourished and inspired by them and their lives, and I'm happy for their success. I'm concerned about there being too much too soon, but they're pretty stable, and they know they'll always get the straight poop from me, as it were, you know. So I try to be even and direct, and at the same time loving. The only regret is I wasn't that way all their lives.
It's all right. You're making up for it. That's what counts.
Okay.
Martin, again, loved your performance in the film, and
Thank
it's
you.
such a good film. I hope it does $1 billion worth of business.
Ah, you're talking.
All right?
There you're talking.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Martin.
you.
Thank you.
Now, I'm really very fond of your boys.
I am
just
too.